AITA for calling the cops on my brother after he stole from me? Me, 19F, and my brother, 17M, have never really gotten along. He's always been kinda reckless, but lately, he's been getting worse. Sneaking out, lying, and now, stealing. A few days ago, I noticed some money missing from my room. I don't keep a ton of cash, but I had about $300 saved up for something important. Gone. At first, I thought I misplaced it, but then I checked my brother's room, and guess what? Found some of my bills crumpled up in his drawer. I confronted him, and he straight up denied it. Even when I showed him the money, he said he found it outside. Like, bro. Be serious. I told my parents, expecting them to back me up, but they brushed it off like, he's just a kid, he probably needed it for something. That pissed me off, so I told my parents either he gives it back or I call the cops. They didn't take me seriously, so I actually did it. Not to get him arrested or anything, just to scare him. The cops came, talked to him, and made him give the money back. They didn't charge him, just gave him a warning. Now my family is mad at me, saying I took it too far and should have just let my parents handle it. But they weren't doing anything, and I'm tired of him getting away with stuff. AITA for calling the cops on my own brother? Edit. Wild how I'm the bad guy for expecting basic respect and not wanting my money to mysteriously disappear. Guess accountability is optional in this family. Update. So things have been awkward as hell at home. My parents are still acting like I'm the villain, and my brother has been giving me the silent treatment, which honestly isn't the worst thing in the world. But here's where it gets interesting. Turns out, I wasn't the only one he was stealing from. A few days after everything went down, my mom pulled me aside and admitted that some of her money had gone missing too. She thought she had just misplaced it, but now she's realizing it was probably him. I didn't say I told you so even though I really wanted to, but I just gave her a look and was like, yeah, exactly. Now my parents are finally taking it seriously, but instead of being mad at him, they're talking about how he's just going through a phase and how they don't want to be too hard on him. Meanwhile, he's still stomping around the house acting like I ruined his life. At this point, I've just distanced myself completely. I'm keeping my door locked, not leaving anything valuable around, and honestly counting down the days until I can move out. Didn't expect this to get so much attention, but I really appreciate all the comments. It helped me see that I wasn't overreacting, and honestly, it's been reassuring to know I wasn't crazy for standing my ground. So do I feel bad? Nope. Do I regret it? Still no. If no one else is gonna hold him accountable, at least now he knows I will. Edit. Didn't think this would blow up like it did, but glad to know I wasn't overreacting. Definitely keeping my guard up from now on. Thank you guys. Update 2. So things have escalated a bit since my last update. My parents finally started taking things more seriously, but not in the way I expected. Instead of actually holding my brother accountable, they're now in full-on damage control mode, acting like this whole thing is just a family issue that got blown out of proportion. A few days ago, my dad sat me down and basically told me that I need to let this go because my brother is apparently really struggling and I made things worse by involving the cops. He said my brother feels like I betrayed him and that I should be the bigger person and try to fix things. Meanwhile, my brother? Yeah, no. He hasn't apologized, hasn't even acknowledged what he did. He's just sulking around the house acting like I ruined his life. And now he's trying to turn things on me, telling family members that I overreacted and made things way worse than they were. I've completely checked out at this point. My parents are clearly more worried about keeping the peace than actually teaching him consequences, and I'm just tired of it. I'm looking at moving out sooner than I planned because honestly, I don't feel like being in a house where my own stuff isn't safe and I'm the bad guy for expecting basic respect. Not sure if I'll update again, but yeah, that's where things stand. Didn't think calling out theft would turn into a full family drama, but here we are. Edit. Didn't think standing up for myself would turn into a whole family crisis, but I guess expecting basic respect was too much to ask. Update 3. So I ended up having another conversation with my parents, mostly because I couldn't keep walking around the house with this giant cloud over everything. I told them again that I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life, I just want to live in a home where my stuff doesn't get touched and I'm not made out to be the problem for setting a boundary. My mom kind of softened a bit and admitted they might have been too quick to defend him, but she also said they're just scared of pushing him further away. I get that, I really do. But I told her protecting him doesn't mean ignoring the things he's doing. My brother still hasn't apologized directly, but he did stop talking shit about me to the rest of the family. I think someone, maybe my aunt, told him he was being immature and making it worse for himself. Since then, things have been quieter. Not better, just less tense. I've started looking at part-time jobs and roommate listings so I can move out sooner. I don't hate my family, I'm just tired of being treated like I'm the one who crossed a line for wanting basic trust and honesty in my own home. Anyway, I didn't think I'd post a third update, but I guess I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who helped me feel like I wasn't insane. Still kinda sucks, but at least now I know I'm not alone. And who knows, if things get weirder, maybe there'll be a fourth. Update 4. It's been about a month since my last update and honestly, I was hoping things would just settle. Spoiler, they didn't. Things have been quiet on the surface, but super passive-aggressive underneath. My brother is still doing the bare minimum to avoid direct conflict with me, but he hasn't apologized properly. Just a few fake nice moments, like offering me a snack or acting like everything's chill. No actual accountability. The real twist? My mom recently asked me if I'd consider moving past it and trying to rebuild the relationship. She said he's maturing and feeling isolated because of the distance between us. I said sure, I'll move past it, as soon as someone acknowledges that what he did was straight up wrong and not just a dumb teenage mistake. She didn't really respond to that. Just got quiet and walked away. At this point I've got a move-out date. I found a small place and signed the lease last week. I haven't told my brother yet, and I'm low-key curious how he'll react. I think part of him still believes I'm bluffing. Anyway, didn't think I'd still be updating a month later, but this whole thing has turned into the longest slow-burn family drama I've ever seen. Appreciate everyone who stuck around and reminded me I'm not the villain for expecting basic trust and boundaries. I'll update if anything wild happens when I move out. Fingers crossed it's uneventful, but with my family? Who knows?